Okay, so this video, I put the hat on purposely now because I was thinking people say something about the hat. So I'm gonna make it my own little personal, little iconic thing. So you know when you see the hat, you know who it is. But anyway, um, but yeah, I was scrolling on my phone. I just went out to eat some Kentucky Fried Chicken, man. I usually don't eat a lot of chicken. As a stereotype of black people love chicken. I usually don't eat a lot of chicken, but Kentucky Fried Chicken in Europe, you guys have far better Kentucky Fried Chicken than we have in the States. Because the Kentucky Fried Chicken here, where I am, I have never eaten it here, and it has not been like hot, like fresh and hot and juicy. Like in America, Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's usually like half warm, not even warm at all. Like just it just looks weird, and you're like Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then it's like super expensive in the U.S. too. Where here it's definitely a little cheaper, and also here it's always hot, and there's a sale going on because they're scared of coronavirus, so they try to get motherfuckers to come out and eat more chicken. So they put it all on sale. So I've been eating a lot of Kentucky Fried Chicken lately because it's here in Europe is way better, way better. But anyway, I was scrolling through my phone and I came across some porn on the internet, which is not very hard to do, by the way. Don't get me wrong, I love porn. I'm not saying I don't like porn. I love porn. But see, the problem is I wanted to go on this because somebody actually asked me to go on this topic a while back, I think, and I forgot to do it. See, porn can really damage. Okay, for guys who don't really know the world of sex deeply, porn can really, really alter your mind because see, the reality of porn is this. It only shows you the highlights of sex. It doesn't show you all the reality. Like I would say porn is almost the equivalent when you factor in everything that goes along in it, or fucking a normal girl, everything that goes along in that in a lot of cases, when you really factor in everything, it will be the equivalent of like watching a highlight reel of, let's say, a Super Bowl game or a basketball game. You're only getting a super condensed maybe 5 or 10 minutes of the whole game. Like you're not seeing where for let's say Shaq almost fouled out in the third quarter, he had to sit down, and you're not seeing when Gary Payton almost got into a fist fight with Akibe Mutombo. You're not seeing all these other little parts. So by the time you get porn on the internet, you're strictly only seeing the highlights. Because I think that goes back into my other statement, and I think in a couple videos back, I said like women are not likable. If you've seen all the behind the scenes of actually having to deal with these women in porn, like their personalities, jealousy, envy, angry because of something, whatever, them just being women, like you would be turned off by it. That's why they only have to like pretty much just cut to where either they have to have a script where the woman is not just being herself as a woman, or they have to just completely just cut directly to where her legs are open and her holes are open and she's getting fucked. because that actually fuels my point from the videos a while back. If you watch women just be women and just be them naturally, like they are not likable. They're really not. And if you look back at porn, like you never see porn of women like you don't see a lot of porn where women are just are really just kind of hanging out. They know they're in a porno, but they're really just hanging out, talking, laughing, and hanging out, and then just start fucking. You don't see that a lot. See, that's why they've always had to make scripts for women or just cut directly to the fucking. Because if you were to see, woman be woman naturally and watch her just do and say what she does and says, you would be turned off by it. You wouldn't want anything to do with it. You see, this is why like movies and media. This is why women very rarely are allowed talk shows where they can just sit up and talk and really get into being themselves. This is why years back, if you're in America, you remember a show called The Man Show. Like men can have shows like that where they was just like chilling and just being them because guys are likable. Guys are likable. Guys can be genuinely funny. Women are not like once you drift too far away from her being looked at as a sex object in any kind of way, essentially every now and then you find one that has a decent personality. But for the most of them, once you drift too far past them being looked at as a sex object, they are just disgusting to deal with, and you really don't want to even have to look at them if they're not hot, because that's the core of it. but yeah, porn, man, like porn is great. I love porn, but it really only cuts to the highlights of dealing with a woman. Because see, porn didn't show you. See, when you watch porn, it doesn't show you that woman without makeup on. It doesn't show you that woman when she woke up at 8:15 and was just in a bad mood, and now everybody in the house is in a bad mood because she's in a bad mood. It didn't show you how she came home mad and angry and blamed it on the fact that the floor wasn't swept, and now she's not talking to anybody all night and staying up in her room. And she's not going to tell anybody what's wrong. You see what I'm saying? See, porn doesn't show you. And for you guys out there, if you've been married before, like you know what I'm talking about. You know some days. Okay, for the guys who've been married, you know what I'm talking about. But the guys who haven't been married or been in long-term relationships, like you're not missing out on anything, man. Because look, it's a lot more stress dealing with that shit. Because, like I said, okay, for guys who's married, you know, you may wake up tomorrow morning and she'll be in a bad mood. Don't even know why. And for the guys who haven't been in a long-term relationship or married, you're going to say, well, why don't you just ask her what's wrong? No, bro. No, you got to just either you got to ride that shit out in the same living quarters as her, or you got to get the fuck out the house and go somewhere and just let her, you know, hopefully when you come back, she's in a better mood type shit. You're not, I'm telling you, man, when it comes to dealing with women in reality, you're not missing anything. I said, because man, and today I've been on a long streak of just like either ignoring or flat out just rejecting beautiful fucking women. Because like I said, the fact here, I got the brothels in Europe. So there's always some poor struggling college student or some woman who is working a dead end job and she figured out she can make more money hooking. So now she does that. And then and the hookers don't cost anywhere near as much as they would cost in the US for that quality of woman. It's like probably 10% the cost of what you would spend in America for that quality woman to fuck her. So like I got the brothel. So like I'm to the point where like, look, I don't even have a reason to get involved in that bullshit. Like, because I think today is like Women's Day, at least over here. It's some women's holiday. So girls are walking around with flowers and the guys are with them. Like, see, I know that whole woman game. Like, so I can't be fazed by it. But I know what other guys would see if they had seen that. Other guys would start getting depressed because, see, they're seeing the woman carry around flowers with the man that bought them for her, and she's like trying to be happy. See, I know what that shit is, man. That has nothing to do with that guy personally. What that is that woman wants to look like she got flowers and look like that she's happy to make other women jealous. That's what that shit is. Like, it's not about that individual man. It could have been any man. And half the women, as soon as holidays come up, they'll hop on Tinder and get the first man they can find just to get a man to do that for them. Like, you got to understand, like, when you know a woman's logic and know a woman's nature, you can't be fazed by it anymore. So, like, matter of fact, when I went up there, when I went to KFC, I ended up talking to these people who were from America, and it was these two like sexy ass bitches, and they're like staring me fucking up and down, trying to get in the get in the conversation. And I know why, because it's the fucking holiday, man. Like they trying to find some dude. Like, look, I know the game. When you know the game, you know the game. Okay. I feel like trying to explain the game thoroughly would be like trying to explain how to run, like literally step by step, which elbow you move to which knee you move and how high you move it. It would just be so convoluted. It would get just bored. You wouldn't even want to hear me out all the way. But once you know women's game, man, like it's unbelievable. But yeah, porn definitely can damage men's minds, especially the men who don't. And I'm not like faulting these men, but the men who don't have a lot of experience in the sexual dating world. Like porn, it really can warp your perception. Like I could go on binges, right? I can watch porn all fucking day. I could go on binges like that, or keep it on in the background, or whatever. Like I can go on binges of doing it, but I know I know the reality of it, of dealing with that, and then switching over to a normal woman. And two, okay. The second part of this is, and I think all men should really take time to understand this. Whatever your sexual fetish is, there's somebody on the planet who is looking for that same thing from someone. Okay, now the thing is, you just have to keep searching until you find that group of people who do this. So in the US, if I was in the US, let's say I had a sexual fetish, like the best population you can usually find usually the best population you can find for these things with women is usually it's for as a man it's going to be the woman in a lower tax bracket. That's usually always going to be your best bet because to be woman is to be prostitute. If she sees a step up, then she'll go, well, maybe I can wager with that if he improves my style, my lifestyle. So essentially, if you just go to a woman who is of a lower tax bracket than you, relatively speaking, then she'll probably do whatever she can to fulfill your sexual whatever your sexual fetish. That's the easiest way, and really that's just the universal way of looking at it. Because if you look at women, and if you like, there's been studies done where they asked women what did they want, and most of the women said they want a man who earns, I think, 50% more than they do. Like it's what it is. To be woman is to be prostitute. It's just in their nature. Once you can fully understand that, and you fully know, put this on silent. Once you can fully understand that, and you fully know without getting angry and upset at it because you want to find that unicorn, then the whole thing becomes it becomes a joke. It just becomes funny at this point, to the point where like girls will want to talk to you and wonder why you don't want to talk to them. Like the whole thing will just become a running gag. Like once you see it, you can like I said, you can acknowledge it without getting upset at it. It's just hilarious. It's funny to watch. But like at this point, man, like I said, I totally watch porn. And then sometimes I can watch porn all day. Other days I go, days and weeks without watching it. It's just whatever I feel like doing. But yeah, porn. You gotta remember, man. Porn is only showing you the highlights. It's not showing you all the trouble. Like now, unless you got like a good hooker, you got like I always, for some reason, man, I usually always would stumble upon a good hooker who was like super free with me. Like for some, I would always, I'm always lucky with. Even now, I'm lucky with it. I always stumble across that one woman who is like down to do like anything, just as long as she has a man leading her into it. She'll do anything. Like I'm thinking of one right now, man. Like spit in a bitch face, slap her, spit in her mouth. I'm talking like literally, like just choke her and just strangling her, throwing her head against the bed while I'm fucking her, grabbing her fucking hair, opening her mouth and just spitting it, and she's just swallowing it. Like man, like I don't want to. See, this is where I have problems with other guys on YouTube because they try to give dating advice. I steer clear of dating advice because everybody has their own situation. And the best way I can put it is, well, I have two ways I can put it. I might forget the second way by the time I get done talking. Okay, one way. Okay, let's just use black pepper as an example, right? There's not to be racist or anything like that, but let's just say green pepper, right? Now, green pepper, if you put it in the right chili mix, green pepper can be incredible. You can put it in the right sausage. You can put it in the right, I don't know, steak recipe, and green pepper can be perfect. But if you take green pepper and put it in birthday cake, it's going to fall, you see what I'm saying? It's going to fall apart. So like no one, like I'm not perfect for your situation, and your situation isn't perfect for my situation. And I fully realize these things. Now, I will go off and tell, say red flags of what to do or what not to do. But outside of that, I don't feel comfortable giving dating advice. Like, and for the other reason, I don't like giving dating advice or just like life advice in general, other than like, key components of, philosophical ways to look at it. But like, I don't like giving life advice or dating advice is because let's say if you play chess, man, and let's say 30 of you guys right now could be all in your own. You're all in your own specific chess match, right? You've made, let's say, 15 moves into the game. Now, if you play chess, you'll know what I'm saying. I can say, okay, what all you should do is move the bishop to b6. Well, your b6 can mean that, after the collision, you'll lose the queen and possibly get checkmated. Another guy moving to b6 can mean, oh, well, he might lose a knight, but he can he can put the other guy in check. Another guy's move. Everybody has their different chess match going on. So for me to try to give broad advice on a personal topic like dating advice or life advice, I just feel I feel like that's impossible unless it's like the core of it. The philosophical way is how you should interpret it. Anything outside of that, I don't feel like I feel like that it's just impossible. And I think the guys who do that and try to sell that, they're just scamming you. That's all they're doing. They're like I said in the MLM video, they're just selling hope to the hopeless at this point. Because the reality of it is like you have to figure out your recipe. You see, like let's just use like chili for instance. Like now, I'm from Ohio, so we have Skyline chili, and a key ingredient in that chili is chocolate. Now, most people would look at chocolate and say, "Yeah, you don't put chocolate in chili," but in that recipe, you got restaurant chains built off of it. Now, you put chocolate in chicken noodle soup, it's not gonna work. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I think it is. I just everybody has their own recipe building, and I feel shitty trying to just direct somebody on within their recipe that they had because I can't know even if you try to tell me your recipe, there's still parts I'm not gonna know. Okay, and I don't want to tell, and I hate giving people bad information. So I that's why I never do that. I never give people. The only time I give people dating advice that might be personal is if they tell me like they went over, which a buddy of mine, yeah, this happened, and this is what I told him. He said he went over his baby mama's, and another guy came walking out the house, and she didn't tell him anything about the guy coming over or anything. I said, "Oh yeah, fuck that bitch, leave that hoe," because she already did. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that, I would say it. But anything else, I'm usually like, I don't know, doesn't sound right. But anyway, back to the real topic, porn, man. Yeah, like porn, like just remember, man, porn. I think porn is great, but it doesn't show it doesn't show you woman's all of woman. It doesn't show you that, and you really can't. You really will never really see it until you're married and living with them. A lot of times, you won't see like all the in-depth problems, like because if you're in a relationship with a woman and it's getting bad while you're in a relationship, oh, trust me, son, you haven't seen anything until you marry her. Like that was like beginner level troubles with whatever troubles you was going through, and you weren't even married to her yet. Oh yeah, you weren't seeing half of what she has up in that arsenal. Like, whoo! If anybody's watching this, you've been married, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like if she was causing problems, like the problems you face after you get married versus when y'all just kind of hanging out, like that's a whole nother ball game of shit. Whew. I think I might have PTSD. That shit, PTSD, getting with a woman long term after that shit. Whew. Well, multiples of them. I might have PTSD because I just think about that shit, and yeah, man, like, well, now I think I done got so gangster. Women know they can't do half of that shit that older women in the past got away with. They already know coming up to the door they can't get away with that. But yeah, anyway, that's the video, man.